y'all, it's Kim. So this document is well, let me start over. So this particular document is part 21 of the JFK files. It is a list of names and different things like that for the House Select Committee on Assassinations. I'm on page 31, and we're just going to read through these. It has some little notes attached to each name and kind of what they're doing. So, anyway, I guess where they are, and maybe in their investigation, is what it seems like, but who knows? All right, so this is Anton Erdinger, or Erdinger, who knows? Because sometimes you pronounce it either way. It says HSCA request 1st of December 1977, OLC number 775333. For 16 Warren Commission documents by number, these documents in possession of National Archives and withheld from release by the CIA, and the CD number 817, 420 of 64. Memorandum from Richard Helms, DDP, and then REBND report pertaining to allegations concerning Anton in the Erdinger, excuse me, whatever his name is. So this is William George. I guess that would be considered a Gaudet if it's like French sounding at the end. HSCA request 3rd of November 1977. File on William George Gaudet. Mr. Gaudet is currently retired. He was formerly a correspondent for the Latin American Traveler. Mr. Gaudet was reportedly a contract employee of the CIA. CCI memo to 01C, 6 December 77, CI 63477, Holmes, reference of Blakey letter dated 3rd of November 77. And then B, O security, and then 18th of November 77. Tab B of reference B contains DO material forwarded to CI for review before releasing to HSCA, which is the House Select Committee on Assassinations. Enclosed is a sanitized version of the above mentioned memorandum. Staff considers this material to be primarily operational and should be held or withheld from HSCA review. So they, I guess, holding it back for methods. What do they call it? Methods and sources, or whatever, sources and methods. Okay, Richard Thomas Gibson, HSC request, or a request, 1st of December 1977, OLC 775333. For 16 Warren Commission documents by number, these documents in possession of National Archives and withheld from release, CD number 71043 of 64. Memorandum from Richard Helms, DDP, regarding Richard Thomas Gibson. Let's see here. HSCA request 9th of November 1977, OLC number 774894, for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA. Oh, I forgot to say her name, Eva Grant. Anyway, CCI memo to OLC 6 December of 1978 or 7. CI 63277 Holmes, R8 9 November request. See document dated 24th of February 1964 in Ruby's file, which is attached to this memorandum. So Jack Ruby, I'm sure. Jack Rubenstein. People pronounce names differently. All right, Alex Gruber, HSCA request 9th of November 1977. OLC number 774894 for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on basically that person. In the CI memo to OLC 6th of December 1977, CI 63277 Holmes, RE 9th of November request, document dated 24th of February 1964 in Ruby's file, which is attached to this memorandum. And then Loran Hall, aka Lorenzo Hall, Skip Hall, aka Lorenzo Paseo, maybe. 12th of September, 77, OLC 3890. Richard Hathcock, Gerald Patrick Hemming, Lawrence Howard, or Larry, basically the same date and that same OLC number, which I'm not really sure what that means. I guess it's a case file. Okay, so Lauren Eugene Hall, Loran, maybe, aka Lorenzo Hall, Skip Hall, Lorenzo Paseo. Memo for the record, 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes. Page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, OLC number 773890. Confirms oral request for all the agency's files on Loran Eugene Hall. This request was made orally to you on Tuesday, August 30th, and Mr. Holmes made available that he stated were all the agency's files on Mr. Hall on Thursday, September 1st. Blakey letter, 28th of September, 77, or a discrepancy on what Holmes provided at that time. The two staff members were provided with one CIA-generated document on Loran, or Lauren, because they have it spelled two different ways, Lauren Eugene Hall, that had not been located previously. And then the Holmes memo, 29th of September, 77. The agency's file on Hall contained one agency document, like I guess Havana, 2037 IN 46987, 21st of April, 1959. Other documents included in Hall's files were 9 FBI reports and 1 Army report. OLC 77-4405/A, 5th of October of 77, George L. Carey to Blakey, reference Blakey letter of October 3rd, 1977, asking to be informed as to whether any relationship existed between Mr. Loran Hall and the CIA. A diligent search of our files fails to disclose any record of any relationship whatsoever between the CIA and Mr. Hall, either as an employee or an independent contractor, and fails to disclose any record of any secrecy agreement. So far as the agency is concerned, we see no reason at this time why Mr. Hall should not feel free to fully respond to any inquiry from the HSCA. And then O, security, Gambino, 19th of October, 77, memo to OLC, info provided. And I guess that's the Gambino, like the Gambino crime family, maybe, like a gangster, because I think there was some other mention of some gangsters throughout this document, or documents. Okay, so Richard Hathcock, memo for the record, 6th of September, 77. Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, confirms oral request for all agency files on. And then Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September, 77, regarding the meeting with HSCA reps. The agency has no information on Richard Hathcock. O security, Gambino, 19th of October, 77, memo to OLC, info provided. Okay. So this is Gerald Patrick Hemming, aka Jerry Hemming, Jerry Patrick, memo for the record, 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, OLC 778 or 3890, confirms oral request for all agency files on that guy. And then Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September, 77, regarding meeting with HSCA reps. I indicated the agency has some information on this man, almost all contained in FBI reports, which I was in the process of identifying. I explained that although we might have a 201 file on a given person, information might appear in other files which has not been incorporated into the person's 201. It was therefore necessary to call these documents in order to identify them properly. CI 77. Holmes, 13th of October, 1977, to OLC. Subject name trace, Gerald Patrick Hemming. Attached 18 documents for inclusion in Hemming file for HSCA review. Attached 2 documents with the staff considers sensitive, or which the staff considers sensitive. And then security, and then Gambino, 19th of October, 77, to OLC. Reference HSCA request, 12th of September. Subject individuals of interest at HSCA. The Gerald Patrick Hemming portion of the package, tab D, contains information dated January to August 77 and 15th of February of 65. That's kind of weird. It goes backwards. All right, so Lawrence Howard, Mexican. Larry Howard. Larry Howard. A memo for the record, 6th of September, 77. Russ Holmes, page 3. Following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Lorraine Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77. OLC 773890 confirms oral request for all agency files on Lawrence Howard. Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September, 77, regarding meeting with HSCA reps. Identified one Army report, which I had already described in the list of third agency documents pertaining to Hall. Security memo, Gambino, 19th of October, 77, to OLC, info provided. Okay, so this Tom Howard, HSCA request, 9th of November, 1977, OLC number 774894, for any and all information generated or in the possession of CIA on Howard. And then CI Holmes memo to OLC, 6th of December, 1977, CI 63277. And then Tom Howard, no records identifiable with subjects. Okay, 1967 Inspector General's report on assassination attempts against Castro. Okay, so OLC 774778, the 2nd of November, 77. Memo for the record. Blakey, visit to, well, the 2nd of November, 77, was warranted. What is that? I don't even know what that word means. Maybe warranted is what they're saying. For him to read the sanitized but classified version of the 1967 IG report. Blakey added he would like to see the 1977 report. He would be informed. Blakey to OLC, 3rd of November, 77, written confirmation of oral request. 21st of October, 77, for an unexpurgated copy of the 1967 IG report. HSCA, Blakey letter request, 9th of November, 1977, OLC number 774894, a reference letter of November 3rd. In light of a more careful review of the Church Committee interim report, it is not necessary for you to make this report available. All right, Valery Vladimirovich Kostikov, HSCA request, 1st of December, 1977, OLC number 775333, for 16 Warren Commission documents by number. These documents in possession of National Archives and withheld from release by CIA. The CD number 347, January 31st, 1964, regarding information developed by CIA on the activity of LHO, so Lee Harvey Oswald, in Mexico City, 20th September to the 3rd of October, 63, with attached photo of Kostikov. John Martino, memo for the record, 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom have been in contact with Lorraine Hall. See, some of these are just like kind of repetitive, but whatever. Okay, HSCA, this is Edward Myers. HSCA request, 9th of November, 77. OLC number 4894, for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on CI Holmes memo to OLC, 6th of December, 77, CI 63277, regarding Edward Myers, no records identifiable with subjects. All right, Lawrence Myers, isn't it the same? Oh, Edward Myers and then Lawrence Myers. Okay. HSCA request, 9th of November, 77, OLC, 774894 for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on Lawrence Myers. CCI Holmes memo to OLC, 6th of December, 1977. CI 63277 and Myers, Lawrence, or Lawrence Myers. No records identifiable with subject. All right, Ruben Miro Cardona. Memo for the record, 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes. Page 3, following names, some of whom may be in contact with Lauren Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, OLC 773890, confirms oral request for all agency files on Ruben Miro Cardona. Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September, 77, regarding meeting with the HSCA reps. I said I had some reference to Miro, but would need more specific biographic information. Triplet could be only tell me that Miro Cardona had been in prison in Cuba in 1959. O security memo, Gambino, 19th of October, 77 to OLC, no record. All right. This is Operation Mongoose. That's something else I was going to try to look up. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, OLC number 773890. This will also confirm the oral request for all agency files on the following operations, Mongoose and Cobra. O security memo, Gambino, 19th of October, 77 to OLC with no record. Okay, RA Mexico, HSCA request, 3rd of November, 77, uncropped copies of photographs of the Mexico City Oswald. These include CIA photographs, CI memo to OLC, CI 62277, 29th of November, 77, attached a black notebook containing copies of 12 photographs of the unidentified individual who was seen entering or leaving the Cuban and Soviet embassies in Mexico City. 11 of the 12 photographs were released under the FOIA. A copy of each of these photographs is included in the attached notebook. That would be interesting to see. Okay, so Robert Ray, I think this is McEwen. HSCA request, 9th of November, 1977, OLC, number 774894 for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on McEwen. CCI memo to OLC, 6th of December, 77, CI 63277 by Holmes. McEwen Robert Ray, the numerous references to McEwen in FBI documents. The identification of FBI documents will be forwarded by separate memorandum. And this is Priscilla Johnson McMillan, HSCA request, 22nd of December, 1977, for access to files or documents on or referring to Priscilla Johnson McMillan, author of Marina and Lee, interviewed Oswald and Soviet Union. DCD 112-78, 31st of January 78. DCD response to her request P76-1861 under the Privacy Act. Full text and sanitized copies of all this material should be available from IPS, also attached are 4 intelligence information reports, which are not furnished in response to the PA request. IPG, 23rd of February, info to be forwarded, SADO and O. All right. Louis J. McWillie, HSCA request 9th of November 77, OLC number 774894, for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on that person, McWillie. CCI memo to OLC 6th of December 1977, CI 63277 by Holmes, RE Lewis J. McWillie. See a document dated 24th of February 1964 in Ruby's file, which is attached to this memorandum. Sylvia Odio. This may be the last one for this section, then we'll do another video. Sylvia Odio, memo for the record, 6th of September 77, Russ Holmes, regarding meeting with HSCA reps, 1st of September. The following topics given, response and comments following each topic. Agency's file on Loran Hall. Blakey had called the agency on 30th of August 77, asking to see the agency's information on Loran Hall. Comment, according to testimony given before the Warren Commission by Sylvia Odio of Dallas, Texas, 3 men identifying themselves as Leopoldo, Angelo, and Leon Oswald came to her apartment on 26th of September 63. Leopoldo claimed he and Angelo were members of JURE, the Cuban Revolutionary Junta, and wanted Sylvia to meet Leon Oswald. They introduced him as an American who was very interested in the Cuban cause. Next day, Leopoldo called Sylvia and said, still according to Sylvia, our idea is to introduce him, Oswald, to the underground in Cuba because he's great. He's kind of nuts. What? In response, he's kind of nuts. That's crazy. Okay. In response to a request dated 28th of August 1964 from J. Lee Rankin, General Counsel of the President's Commission, the FBI initiated an investigation to identify the 2 men who accompanied Leon Oswald to Sylvia's apartment. On 21st of September 1964, the FBI informed Rankin that the Bureau had identified the man as Loren Eugene Hall and Lawrence Howard. Leon Oswald was identified as William Seymour. Response, the agency has little information on Hall beyond what is already available in overt material. All right, so I'm going to stop here. We'll start back up on page 54, and hopefully we can get through one last recording for this document since it's so long. This will probably be like, what, the 3rd or 4th one? I can't remember. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good afternoon. Bye.